Hi, it's Mary from Growing Puppies. Today I'm making homemade dog food and I'm going to show you how I do it. So the first thing I'm going to add to my recipe is 2 cups of turkey broth, which I'm making according to package directions. And this is a powdered turkey broth by Honest Kitchen, which is made for dogs. So the next thing I have is their ground turkey. Turkey is the main ingredient in my recipe, and of course for any dog food, the bulk of the food should be the meat. They are omnivores, dogs, but they do need to have mostly meat in their food. So I will be using 6 pounds of ground turkey, and this is very quick and easy way to make dog food. So I'm going to have a few different vegetables in this recipe, and one of them is broccoli. These are broccoli stalks that I had left over, and I'm going to chop them into little pieces so that I can throw them into my food processor. And if you want to know where I learned to cook for my dogs, I will have that information in the description. So the food processor makes this process go a lot quicker. Okay, so next we have some carrots. Carrots are a really good one for feeding to new mama dogs as well. But there are a whole lot of different vegetables you could choose. And here I have some butternut squash. I got this from my friend's garden, and so I thought I'll add a little butternut squash to the recipe as well. So of course, when you're using a food processor, it's best to chop the vegetables into pieces that are small enough to fit through the little chute at the top, and then they seem to process a little bit easier that way. In my opinion, it's really worth having a food processor to make this chopping up vegetables go quicker. So in this recipe, I want 4 cups of chopped vegetables. And so I'm going to use my Pyrex measuring cup to measure that. This one is 2-cup measure, so I'll take 2 of these to make 4 cups. And I'm also going to add 2 cups of a chopped apple to this recipe. And next I'm going to add some quinoa, chia seeds, turmeric, ginger, flaxseed meal, and brewer's yeast. Okay, so we've just about finished the crock pot portion. The last thing to do is to stir this up and to cook it on high for 4 hours. This is a gentle cooking process which will retain the most nutrients in the food. The very last thing we do after the recipe is cooked is I add the calcium to the food. I just follow the directions on this calcium powder to know how much to add, and this is super important because we don't want our mama dogs to have a low calcium. Okay, so while my dog food is cooking, I'm going to get my dogs their dinner, and I'm going to use some food that I made yesterday, and I'm going to put the fresh toppers onto the dog food. Now the toppers are super important because they also balance out the meal. Some of the food is cooked, but some of it is fresh, and for instance, say yogurt is one of the things that I put on their food, and yogurt has all these probiotics that if you cook them, there won't be the same value in it. Okay, so while my food is cooking, I'm going to feed my dogs with food I made yesterday, and I measure out each dog's portion individually because they eat a specific amount according to their weight. Okay, so here are some of the things that I put on the dog's food. I'll put a few sprinkles of these salmon skins. These have omega-3s. They're very good for the dogs. And I'll put some of this yogurt. about a teaspoon. We also put some liver because dogs have to have organ meat, and this is dehydrated liver. I could also cook liver into the food if I wanted to. And then I use ground pumpkin seed, which is naturally deworming. And again, it's about a half teaspoon or so per dog. We don't really measure that. Put a little kefir, which is full of excellent probiotics. Okay. And so today we're going to add some coconut oil as well. This is organic coconut oil. Just about a half teaspoon per dog. And then sometimes we add cottage cheese, or these are broccoli sprouts. I'm going to throw some of those on their food today. That's really nutritious. There's a lot of really good things that are healthy for your dogs, and those things we just throw on at the end if there's something that needs to be fed fresh. To find out what your dogs can and can't eat, it's good to do a 5 strands test. I'll put the information in the description. And for the moms that just had puppies, we will add Oral Cal Plus because they need extra calcium. Now finally we get to feed the dog their dinner, and as you see, Pippa's still learning to be respectful of Snowy's food, but she's doing pretty good. So I call them each by name, and they come over and they eat their individual bowl, and they really do enjoy their food. And it makes me really happy to know that they're getting real ingredients, and I know what's in it, and I also know it's a balanced diet. So anyway, I hope that this is informational for someone, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.